Your brain never stops talking, does it? Right now, as you're watching this, there's probably a voice in your head commenting on what I'm saying. Maybe judging my shirt or reminding you about that thing you forgot to do yesterday. That voice, that constant mental chatter, it's exhausting. And here's what nobody tells you. You're not supposed to listen to everything it says. Most people go their entire lives thinking they are that voice. They think those racing thoughts, those worries, those endless mental loops, that's just them thinking. But what if I told you that's not thinking at all? What if that's just noise? And what if you could turn down the volume in less than 60 seconds? Let me paint you a picture. It's 3 a.m. You should be sleeping, but instead you're lying there while your brain runs a full documentary about that conversation from earlier. Why did I say that? Did they think I was weird? What if they tell other people? What if this ruins everything? Sound familiar? Or maybe it's the morning. You wake up and before your feet even hit the floor, your brain is already scrolling through today's anxiety playlist. Did I lock the door? Is that pain in my chest serious? Am I behind in life? Why does everyone else seem to have it figured out? This is what I call mental channel surfing, and most people don't even realize they're holding the remote. Here's the thing that'll blow your mind. That voice in your head isn't actually you. I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. If you can observe your thoughts, if you can notice that mental chatter, then who is doing the observing? There's the voice, and then there's the awareness that hears it. You are the awareness, not the voice. This changes everything. Imagine your mind is like a house, and that chattering voice is like a radio that's been left on in another room. For years, you've been walking around thinking the radio is the house. You've been identifying with every song, every commercial, every bit of static. But the house exists, with or without the radio. The house is peaceful. The house is still. And you can choose to turn down the volume whenever you want. But here's the weird part. We're actually addicted to this mental noise. Why? Because silence feels scary. When the brain finally gets quiet, we panic. We think, something's wrong. I should be thinking about something. I should be solving something. We've been conditioned to believe that constant thinking equals productivity. That mental busyness equals importance. But ask yourself, when was the last time that 3 a.m. worry session actually solved anything? The truth is, most of our thinking isn't problem solving. It's just mental rumination. It's like a hamster on a wheel, running frantically but getting nowhere. Scientists call this the default mode network. It's the part of your brain that's active when you're not focused on anything specific. And for most people, this network is overactive. It's like having a crowded restaurant in your head where everyone's talking at once and you can't focus on any single conversation. Studies show that people spend 47% of their waking hours lost in this mental chatter. And here's the kicker. It makes them measurably less happy. The wandering mind is literally an unhappy mind. Alright, here's the technique that can quiet your brain in 60 seconds. I call it the stop-drop-notice method. Stop. The moment you catch your brain spiraling, say stop out loud. Yes, out loud. This interrupts the pattern. Drop. Drop your attention from your head down into your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the air on your skin. This gets you out of mental space and into physical space. Notice. Notice 3 things you can sense right now without thinking about them. The temperature of the air, the sound of your breathing, the feeling of your clothes on your skin. Do this for 60 seconds. That's it. This works because you're literally switching networks in your brain. You're moving from the default mode network, the one that loves to worry and spiral, to the present moment network, which is naturally calm. It's like changing the channel from a chaotic news station to a peaceful nature documentary. Same TV, different content. But here's where people mess this up. They try to fight the thoughts. They think the goal is to never have thoughts again. That's not it. Thoughts will come. That's what brains do. The goal is to not get hooked by every thought that passes through. Think of thoughts like cars on a highway. You don't have to get in every car that drives by. You can just watch them pass. Another mistake? People try this once, and when thoughts come back, they think it didn't work. But this is like going to the gym once and wondering why you're not buff yet. Mental fitness requires practice, and here's something most people don't realize. Your brain is actually relieved when you do this technique. Think about it. Your mind has been working overtime, trying to solve unsolvable problems, predict unpredictable futures, and control uncontrollable outcomes. It's exhausted. When you finally give it permission to rest, there's this collective sigh from your entire nervous system. It's like you've been carrying a heavy backpack for so long that you forgot you were wearing it. The stop-drop-notice technique is you finally setting that backpack down and feeling how light you actually are underneath all that mental weight. The beautiful thing is, once you get good at this, you start to catch yourself earlier in the spiral. Instead of being lost in mental chaos for hours, you notice it after minutes. Then eventually, you catch it after seconds. You become like a skilled surfer who can feel the wave building before it crashes. You're no longer surprised by your own mind. Let me give you some real scenarios where this technique is a game changer. Before a big presentation, instead of spiraling about what could go wrong, stop, drop, notice for 60 seconds. You'll walk in centered instead of scattered. During an argument, when you feel that surge of anger and your brain starts composing the perfect comeback, stop, drop, notice. You'll respond instead of react. When you can't sleep, instead of lying there planning tomorrow or replaying today, use the technique. Your nervous system will shift from fight or flight to rest and digest. In traffic or waiting in line, these moments usually trigger impatience and mental complaining. But when you use the technique, these become mini meditation retreats. Suddenly, that red light isn't stealing your time. It's giving you a chance to reconnect with yourself. Before making big decisions, we often make choices from a place of mental noise and emotional turbulence. But when you quiet the chatter first, you access a deeper intelligence. You start making decisions that feel right in your body, not just logical in your head. This isn't just about quieting your mind. This is about reclaiming your life. Because when you're not constantly hijacked by mental chatter, you start making decisions from wisdom instead of worry. You start responding to life instead of reacting to it. You become the director of your life instead of just an actor who forgot their lines. Now, some of you are thinking, but what if I miss something important? What if I need to worry about this? Here's the truth. Urgent problems require clear thinking, not anxious thinking. When your mind is quiet, you actually think better. Solutions come faster. Creativity flows easier. Decision-making becomes clearer. The voice in your head isn't your advisor. It's often your saboteur, disguised as helpful concern. Think about the last time you had a breakthrough idea or a moment of clarity. I bet it didn't come during a mental spiral session. It probably came in the shower, on a walk, or right as you were falling asleep, moments when your mind was naturally quiet. That's not a coincidence. Wisdom speaks in whispers, not in the shouting match of mental chatter. And here's something wild. When you master this technique, you start noticing how much energy you were wasting on mental noise. It's like you've been running background apps on your phone that were draining the battery, and suddenly you close them all and realize how much power you actually have. People will start asking you what changed, why you seem calmer, more present, more confident. The secret? You stopped spending 80% of your mental energy on internal arguments that never had a winner anyway. Here's something profound that meditation masters have known for thousands of years. The space between thoughts is where peace lives. Most people never experience this space because they're so busy jumping from thought to thought like a monkey swinging from branch to branch. But in that gap, that tiny pause between one thought and the next, there's pure silence, pure awareness, pure peace. The more you practice accessing this space, the more it expands. It's like finding a secret room in your house that you never knew existed. Once you get good at the 60-second technique, here's what starts happening. You begin to notice the quality of different silences. Some feel empty, others feel full of potential. Some feel restless, others feel deeply peaceful. This is where the real magic happens. I remember working with someone who said their brain felt like a train station during rush hour. Constant noise, constant movement, never any peace. After practicing this technique for just 2 weeks, they told me, it's like someone finally showed me where the volume control was. They still had thoughts, but they weren't controlled by their thoughts anymore. That's the difference between mental slavery and mental freedom. Here's something beautiful. When you learn to quiet your mind, you don't become less intelligent, you become more wise. Intelligence is knowing a lot of facts. Wisdom is knowing which facts matter and when to apply them. Most of our mental chatter isn't intelligent thinking. It's just recycled worry, repeated judgments, and borrowed opinions playing on loop. Real intelligence is spacious, not scattered. In the deepest silence, you don't just find peace, you find your true self. The version of you that exists beneath all the mental noise, beneath all the roles you play, beneath all the stories you tell yourself. This is who you actually are when you strip away all the commentary. Your homework this week. Practice. Stop, drop, notice 3 times a day. Set reminders on your phone if you need to. Don't wait for your brain to be chaotic. Practice when it's relatively calm too. This builds your mental fitness for when you really need it. If you want to go deeper with this, I've got an ebook in the description below that takes this to the next level. Check it out if you're ready to really master this stuff. Remember, your thoughts are not facts, your worries are not prophecies, and your mental chatter is not your identity. You are the peaceful awareness that can observe it all without being disturbed by any of it. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. And what you'll hear in that silence isn't emptiness, it's fullness. It's life without the commentary. It's peace without conditions. If this resonated with you, leave one word in the comments. Quiet. That's it. Just that one word. It'll be our signal that you're ready to turn down the volume on mental noise and turn up the volume on inner peace. And if you've found value in this, subscribe for more content on mastering your inner world, because the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with your own mind. Until next time, stay quiet, stay present, and remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that observes them.